Something big is happening in the UK right now, and I want to draw your attention to it. Thousands of people are quietly leaving the UK. People are packing their bags, their lives and their families, both adults and children, and are leaving the UK. From students to skilled workers, and even British citizens are not left out. And you begin to wonder what exactly is going on. Is the UK pushing people out, or are people just tired of struggling and the uncertainties that come to living in the UK? So let's look at the real numbers, because according to the latest data from the ONS, this is not just a rumor, it's actually happening. My name is Tochi, you're welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching so YouTube can recommend it to more people. Like it right now, thank you. And kindly share it to everyone that will benefit from it, because this is a very important video. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. And if you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button right now. Thank you. So guys, let's start with the facts. The Office of National Statistics recently released new figures, and the numbers show that emigration, that is the number of people leaving the UK full-time, okay, or for a long term, is on the rise. You'll see that immigration of non-EU plus migrants initially arriving on a study-related visa decreased from 423,000 in year ending December 2023 to 266,000 in year December 2024, right? A decrease in student dependence following government policy changes accounts for around 2/3 of this change. Obviously, we can all tell that, yes, study visas application reduced because of the constant changes in immigration rules, and even when the government stops international students from bringing dependents to the UK and all of that, right? Now, emigration, that's the number of people that have left of non-EU plus migrants initially arriving on a study-related visa increased from 114,000 in year December 2023 to 135,000 in year December 2024. Right? So can you see that the number of people that left the UK actually increased from the previous year? And these are just people that are on study visas alone. We also have people that have left, people on work visas that have left, that the constant changes in immigration rules. And this even brings me to one of the reasons why people are leaving the UK. This is because of the constant changes in immigration rules, okay? It has not been favorable. There's been a lot of changes. Both salary increase, the salary threshold has been increased. Right now, it's been increased to over £40,000. Now, tell me how many companies are willing to pay that amount of money. People were struggling to even meet up when it was just about £38,000, and now it's over £40,000. And people are really struggling. Companies, sponsors are not meeting up anymore. In fact, recently we've even seen cases or heard about companies that just tell their employees that, see, they are not able to renew their visas or their COS, and just like that. And these are people that their stay in the UK is tied to their jobs, their COS. And if you don't have COS anymore, what are you going to be doing in the UK? You know, we even saw when prisons, you know, the prison service released an article, I think just a few months ago, saying that the new immigration rules are affecting prison workers. I shared that here with us when they made that publication or that announcement. You know, they said that lots of their staff is even affecting prison service, because a lot of their staff are dependent on their COS, on their visas, and they cannot even pay up to the amount. They said the average salary is about 30-something thousand pounds, and the government expects them to earn up to 40-something thousand pounds, and they are not renewing. So it's affecting them. They shared a story of somebody who just has 3 months left on his visa, you know, and he has to go back if he doesn't get another job with another sponsor that is willing to keep him in the UK. And we all understand how difficult it is right now to get jobs with sponsorship in the UK. It's no longer easy. The constant changes. We have seen a lot of, you know, care workers are affected. Care workers can no longer apply with dependents. Skilled workers is very difficult now getting a job that's paying, you know, meeting with the new salary threshold and everything. So it's getting a lot more difficult, and this is affecting so many people that are on skilled worker visas in the UK. For care workers, some employers lost their sponsorship licenses, government withdrew it, some government is not even renewing and everything. So it affected those companies, and they're not able to renew these visas or this COS for their employees. Care companies, there are now lots of checks, lots of things you have to meet, requirements and everything. And we don't blame the government to an extent, because there was expectation going on and abuse and everything. And the Home Office, in order to curb that, how to make it more difficult and how to just set things in place to make sure that before a company will be able to sponsor anybody, they have to meet all those requirements. And a lot of companies fell short, and the government had to withdraw their COS, and it affected those workers. And for some people, they were not lucky to get another sponsor. They had to leave the UK. And we are talking about thousands of people. The numbers are here. We're talking about thousands of people that were once in the UK with their families. They had to pick up their luggages, pack up, and they moved out of the UK. Another reason is the fact that, people are saying that, we have seen that it's not just migrants. British citizens are also leaving. Some are saying that there's the high cost of living is not making it easy for them to live in the UK anymore. People are struggling, they are moving to countries like Dubai, Canada, Australia, and even the US. I think I also saw some time where they say that rich people are leaving the UK as well. Because if you see, you say HMRC figures appear to indicate departure of high net worth people is in line with OBR predictions. In this article, it's saying that they might have overblown it, but people are actually leaving the UK because they are saying, they are taxed, the tax is very high cost of living, and a lot of other reasons why British citizens are leaving the UK. And also, net migration to UK down by half in 2024 compared with year before. The drop from 860,000 in the year to December 2024 follows a series of policies implemented by the last conservative government that have been continued by the present Labour government, okay? It is the biggest calendar year drop since the early stages of the COVID pandemic, and is still dropping. The ONS said the sharp decline was caused by reduced immigration from non-EU countries for work and study visas, and by an increase in emigration from the UK. That means an increase in people leaving the UK. So all of these rules put together have actually cost people in their thousands to be leaving the UK. Please, I'm sure you would know somebody in your circle or somebody that you know that have left the UK. Me, I know, like I can count at the top of my head right now over 10 people that I know that recently left the UK. And we also saw an article that said that a lot of doctors are leaving the UK as well. Not just doctors, medical professionals, doctors, nurses, they are leaving the UK because they claim they are underpaid, and they are not, well treated in their workplaces. They are overworked and everything, and they are moving to countries where their skills, their crafts, their profession is well and better appreciated. The government is now even planning to increase time for ILR to 10 years. And the NHS have also said this, that is going to stress the NHS. Let me show you guys this article. NHS could cease to function under Labour's new visa rules, okay? They're saying that this thing is going to affect the NHS because these healthcare workers are likely to leave the UK and go to countries where there won't be constant changes in immigration rules, where there won't be, uncertainty. Like imagine you feel like, you're trying to build your future here, you're raising your family, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, working, paying your taxes, contributing positively to the economy, just living your life. And all of a sudden, one rule will just come up that will throw you off balance and will affect you to the extent that you might likely have to leave the UK. So people are beginning to make plans. And sometimes it's good to be properly informed, because when you're well informed, it's to help you make right decisions. You make well-informed decisions and plan ahead, So they are saying that, the NHS and social care would cease to function under the government's new rules to be imposed on foreign foreign staff, nursing leaders have said, as hundreds of medics condemn the policies as divisive and xenophobic. RCN, which represents more than 500,000 nurses in the UK and overseas, said the policy would deny people access to vital support for a decade or more, increase poverty, and ultimately drive them away when they're already gaping holes in the workforce. So these are people's fears, and these fears are valid. Healthcare workers are globally needed in different parts of the world, right? If you're in a place where you feel if you're in a place where you don't feel certain about your future is not certain, the future of your profession or your career is not certain because the government will just wake up one day and just bring up one policy that would change everything for you, you are likely going to go to a place where you feel you're treated better. So this plan have really raised concern, and a lot of NHS workers have really criticized these plans, and a lot of migrants are even talking about it, and people are being scared because this constant changes in immigration rules, believe it or not, is beginning to affect a lot of people. We also saw some time where the government released the number of skilled workers and students that are applying for asylum. I don't think they're applying because they really want to. I feel like it's because somehow the rules are not favorable, and asylum is the only thing that people can really think of at the time when they're applying, So they are seeing the rise in the number of people applying for asylum because the rules are not favorable. People are losing their visas, losing their right to stay in the UK. And some people don't even have anything to go back to. Imagine you have lived in a country, you have packed up your bags, left your country, and you have been here for over 2 years, 3 years. You're beginning to build a life here. And all of a sudden, everything just goes wrong in a twinkle of an eye. How would you feel? What do you expect people to go back to? It's not easy, So these are some of the things that are really making people, and trust me, every day, as we can see here from the statistics that have been shown, every day, people are packing their bags and are leaving the UK. Not just migrants, even British citizens, okay? So please tell me, do you know anybody so far that have left the UK? Let us know. Are you planning to leave? Are you going to be leaving anytime soon? And if you even go on social media, you're going to see people saying, oh, I left the UK, or I live in the UK. Just guys are not lying. They're actually saying the truth. And both people that are on social media that you know and people that you don't know. I've personally seen people who came on study visas and they tried everything they could. They really wanted to stay back, wanted to switch to a more permanent visa, and they tried everything that they could to switch. They even entered post-study work visa, and before you knew it, the post-study work visa just went by very quickly. Post-study work visa says 2 years, you have 2 years on your visa, but that 2 years feels like 2 months, because before you know it, everything is gone, and you now have to pack your bags and leave against your will. I know some people that had to leave after their post-study work visa expired, and because they couldn't switch to a skilled worker visa or to a more permanent visa that would allow them to stay back in the UK, So it's really, really heartbreaking that there are people that are living willingly, but there are also people who necessity made them leave. They had to leave because they had no other choice. They tried all they could to stay back legally, but it just didn't favor them. So yes, people are leaving the UK, okay? For some, it's for better quality of life. They're going somewhere else to get a better quality of life. And for some, it's just because they couldn't help staying. They tried all they could, but it just wasn't working for them. So if you're in the UK right now, it's just good to know what's going on so that you would plan better, you be strategic. Everybody living in the UK right now just has to be strategic, because you don't know the next rule the government would come up with that would just throw you off balance, Guys, it's not easy at all. It's not, right? You see somebody who some people were losing their friends, family, people are just packing up. Somebody somebody you're trying to build connections with or bond. The next person is telling you, sorry, we're leaving the UK. But now, the real question I really want to ask is, will things get better, or will more people continue to leave? I want to hear what you think about this in the comment section. Have you seen anybody leave? Are you planning to leave yourself? Let me hear in the comment section. So that is it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.